What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, beautiful people? Welcome to a special conversation. That's right, with Prime Talk, conversations in prime time, with none other than DJ Slash. What's going on? What's going on, beautiful people? Welcome to another conversation in prime time, featuring none other than DJ Slash and Trent. We're talking about education today. We're talking about education. All you experience. Let's really talk about education. We got the wonderful, beautiful, lovely friend of mine, Vice Principal Catherine Dye. Well, not Catherine. I'm sorry, Kathy Dye, here from North Carolina. I do too many podcasts, man. I do way too many. I'm gonna have to back off of that for a minute. I do way too many podcasts. But Kathy, I've been knowing Kathy for a number of years. A very good friend of mine. She's been in broadcasting for about 25 years. She's a vice principal. She's a teacher. Most importantly, she's a mother. So she's a wonderful friend of mine. She has a plethora of information on education. She's been in the educational field for quite some time. We're gonna get this thing started. You know, we thought about this. Slash and I've been talking about this for a number of months. Been waiting on Kathy's schedule to clear up and get this thing going. You know, with this climate that's going on, with this the changes up there in Washington, and how's that affecting the kids, man? Let's talk about it. Let's get in here and let's talk about it. So the topic is: are you experienced? Let's really talk about education. Like, let's really talk about it. Let's bring Slash, and then we'll bring the beautiful Kathy in one sec. What up, Slash? What up? What up? What up? What up?
What up, man? What's good with it?
I can't call it my spoiler, man. Can't call it my spoiler. Let's welcome everybody in, man, from TikTok. Everybody over there actually tuning in. So Kathy's gonna work the comments over there if they have questions for the beautiful Kathy on this topic, because she's the knowledgeable one here. Vice principal. She's been a teacher for a number of years. She was in the classroom. Now she's in the vice principal spot position. She's in administrative role now. So we got some things to talk about. We got questions to ask, and we're gonna get into it. This is Slash's topic, and we're gonna dig in on it. What's going on with the Slash?
Oh man, I'm chilling, man. Getting in from we ended on a positive note, 2025, and now we're bringing it in 2026, man. Trying to do it bigger, better, badder.
Exactly. Shout out to Slash hooking up. I see you over there on TikTok side. I see you over there. The folks
Yes,
see
sir.
Slash over there as well on the TikTok side. Let's bring Kathy in so we can get this thing started. Are you experienced? Let's really talk about education. Let's talk about it. Let's bring Kathy in right now. Hey, what's going on with you? Are you there, Kathy?
There we go, right there. She's up. What's going on, Kathy? How you doing?
Good evening.
Good evening.
How are you? You have a serious delay there, Kathy. You have a serious delay. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think she might be froze, but she did
Yeah,
come in and greet with a good evening greet. Yes, she is.
yeah.
Good evening, Kathy. How you doing?
I am so
Yeah, Kathy, I
sorry.
believe
Okay.
it's okay. It's no need to apologize.
Yeah, you good?
How are you?
She's good. I want to say greetings to everybody that's on TikTok
Can you
also
hear me now?
We
and
can hear
on
you.
YouTube. Hey, what's going on?
Let's have Kathy. Let's have Kathy disconnect so she could
Yeah. Let's try to get her to
Yeah,
punch back in. But yeah, she's on screen. I see her on screen.
yeah, she's freezing up. She's freezing up. I'm gonna push her
All
out.
right.
She'll push back in.
Right.
Let me get her out real quick.
I don't
She'll
know,
come
man.
back
They
in.
might don't want us to talk about education, man. The way they're trying to get rid of it, man.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about it though. We definitely gonna talk about it. I
Let's
just I
talk
just
about it.
I just put her out the studio. She'll come back in. She'll come back in. So yeah, man.
Okay,
So
no
this
doubt.
topic, man. Good. This topic. I know where you coming from, and with this talking about education
Right.
and all the changes they're making in Washington, with people who
Mm-hmm.
are really not qualified to run the educational system, the
No,
federal
sir.
educational system. Let's be honest about it.
With the last
That's one.
time when that guy was in office, man, he had somebody that had no background in education. This time, we had the Department of Wrestling as far as the education department, and they're trying to
Exactly.
get rid of it. So that
Exactly.
makes me want to ask a lot of questions about who's really putting these things in order, putting these things in place, who's really financing these things, what's the curriculum that the kids are getting.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, wasn't that McMahon? A last name McMahon, right?
Yeah, that's who's the so-called over Department of Education right now,
Right.
with her
Right. Right.
background in wrestling and all of those lawsuits and whatnot, and real sketchy background. But that's one of those loyalists to the nonsense.
Exactly. I get it. I get it. I get it. What's been going on
Right.
with your Slash? We'll wait till Kathy
Uh,
comes back in.
same. Researching, working on music, working on videos. Man, I got something hot I gotta send your way, and I was checking out that theme song, man. I might have to
Yeah,
get you
yeah.
to write some lyrics for that theme song, man. Get you back in the booth.
What to sing?
Hey man, you want to sing? You want to do some background? You want to do some vocal coaching? You want to bring somebody else in? You want bring in Pat LaBelle or somebody? Let me know.
Yeah, we could bring somebody in. Well, I ain't doing no
Okay.
background though. No. I was just joking.
Oh, now see, there it is. Now that's the guy I know right there.
I ain't doing no background. What you used to say? What you used to say? Well, I was the first one out the limo, right?
First one out there before the bodyguard get out. It's
Exactly.
already out, man.
Exactly. Exactly. Let's bring
Yes,
Kathy in. Let's
sir.
see. If we straighten that out one sec. Okay, you good? I think Kathy's
Uh,
having connectivity problems.
what's up, Kathy?
Yeah,
Can
yeah, I think she's having connectivity problems.
give it a second to kick in.
Yeah, yeah. So, so, yeah, she's froze, man. She's froze.
Wow. So they don't want the truth to come true, man. That's all that
Yeah,
is,
yeah,
man.
yeah. That's kind of different. That's kind of different for it to be freezing up like that.
Right.
That's kind of different. We'll
Oh,
we'll
I
push
hear.
through. We'll
Okay,
push
I
through.
hear.
Yeah, we'll push through.
Right.
Push through. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
So what's
It's
going
not.
on,
I
Kathy?
don't
Can
think
you
it's
hear
gonna
us?
work.
I can
Yeah, I
hear
don't think.
you.
Yeah,
There we
but
go.
it's a serious delay
Can
though.
you hear
It's
me?
Yeah, but it's a serious, like a very serious delay.
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
can
it's a
hear you.
serious.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear
Yes,
you.
but it's a
Hmm.
serious.
Yeah, she froze up again, man.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the first time we've done three people, I believe, on stream. So I don't know. Maybe the
Nah,
working the
we've done
bugs
we've
out,
done we've done four
Wi-Fi or
before.
something. Yeah.
Nah, we've done four at a time.
No, I mean into this new year, man. I don't. They had some changes and
Yeah,
whatnot to it. So
yeah,
yeah.
it's all good. So let's push through.
Right.
Let's talk about, man, the current state of education and who is really working for 'em.
Right.
Who you think is really working for 'em? The current state of education.
Current state is to uneducate people so that it's easier to manipulate them with this misinformation and or just guiding them in the wrong routes and paths, man. Taking things like civics out of school where kids don't know. state capitals, state to state,
Right.
countries, the whole nine. It's even when you talk about different languages and different things like we had when we was in high school, they're
Right.
really trying to really minimize the education as far as critical thinking on different things, different topics, different backgrounds of people. Man, that's what they're doing.
Exactly. Exactly. Let's talk. And I'm glad you brought that up. Let's talk about these books that
Yeah.
Florida
Hmm.
straight up took them out of their system, right? So
Right,
here's the
book
okey
band.
doke when they did the okey doke with the books, right?
Hmm.
Not telling everybody, Florida changed the law, but not telling everybody that all their books come from Texas. That's where the
Right,
books are actually produced and pushed out throughout the system. So you
right,
could change that law in Florida. It
hmm,
doesn't matter because all the books are being made in Texas.
right,
So that's another okey doke that they tried. That's another oh, everything the laws changed in Texas. I mean in Florida.
hmm,
Didn't matter because the books are getting written. What they really want these kids to be learning and taught is being
right,
made out of Texas.
right,
A ton of people don't know that though, you
right.
know?
And the thing is, a lot of these things get pushed into the government based upon things that went through Texas or Florida.
Uh,
And that was their first change when they decided to make people who were enslaved, as far as if
right.
they came here as workers. That started in the textbooks, like you're saying, out in Texas. So that's where
Exactly.
they'll get their trial runs from out of Texas and out of Florida, and then it's pushed up to the government. That's why the political people from Florida and Texas, that's why they're so prominent in the
Exactly.
so-called administration.
One second. Catherine, Kathy, we couldn't hear you on in the studio. It was a feedback. But if you want to stay over on that side and come in that way and just don't come into the studio. Oh, she's back in the studio. Let's
What
see.
about tapping in on TikTok?
She's tapping. That's what she's about to do now. I seen her pull up.
Okay,
Let me see.
right.
Let's see if we can pull her up.
She's tapping.
Yeah,
That's what
Kathy, I
she's
believe the
about to
safe
do
thing to
now.
do
I
is to
seen her
do it
pull up.
on TikTok. If you go over on TikTok, we could do it from there, and we'll just pull you completely out of the studio because I don't think that stream's gonna work.
If you go over on TikTok, we can do it from there and we'll just pull you completely out of the studio.
I'll pull you up, Kat. I'll pull you up on TikTok, Kathy. That way the audience could actually see you. Flashing out, stay here in the studio. There
Right,
she
right.
go right there. Let me pull her up. One sec.
But you're doing a lot of some technical work today, man. They say that now the
Yeah, man.
times you say, man, you might can't do this, you can't do that, man. Like you controlling the whole. I don't know, like we said, the Hall of Justice. Look like you're pushing all the buttons tonight, man.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying. I'm really trying. Okay, we got
Right.
Kathy on TikTok. So Slash and I stay here in the studio, so this is gonna work. There's more than one way to skin a cat, so we're gonna make this work real quick. What up,
Yeah, but
Kathy?
why do you want skin
Hi,
a
how
cat,
are
man?
you?
Let's get away
Perfect,
from
perfect,
that, man.
perfect. Good, good. You good. You good. So you can turn your camera on, Kathy, so everybody can see that beautiful face. And you're not only educated, but you're very beautiful, highly
Ah,
intelligent.
I'm trying to see, who that is with the light hair over there, man.
There we
Okay,
go.
there we go. There we go.
There we go. That's my very wonderful, beautiful friend. Of how many years, Kathy? How many years?
oh my gracious. Probably about maybe 15,
About 15,
16.
about 15, 16 years. Yeah,
Okay,
Yeah.
that's
that's
what's
good
up.
stuff. So we're talking about the educational system. Are you truly
Yes.
experienced? My question for you, my first question is, you being a vice principal, you coming from the educational system, teacher,
Hmm.
everything. What was your
Hmm.
first thought when you found out who was going to be running that department up in Washington?
You're talking about for this political term, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Hmm.
Um, non-educated, have no clue as to what goes on inside the classroom
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
what children need.
Mm-hmm.
In education, coming from a teacher standpoint, now administrator, a lot of our
Right.
children that are in schools need various things to be
Mm-hmm.
successful. And
Right.
the climate today is
Right.
what we're seeing in
Something just kicked out, man. Whatever you just last did,
so
something kicked out. All right.
we as a community need to make sure that we are voicing our opinions and as well as understanding what
Mm-hmm.
our schools are asking us as parents,
Right.
as staff, and
Right.
going for the children. It's
Exactly. That's
not
the most
about the
important.
pocketbook.
That's the
It's
most
Right.
not about the
important.
pocketbook.
That's the most important. Asking the
Hmm.
community to get involved, the parents to get involved, know exactly what their kids are being taught, for one. For
Absolutely.
two, I know a ton of parents don't know that when they passed that law in Florida, that really was just to deflect,
Rules.
do some deflecting, knowing
Mm-hmm.
Right.
all the books in the United States are made in Texas. So when they changed the law, that didn't matter. It's
Hmm.
what they're creating over in Texas and
Mm-hmm.
distributing it throughout the country from
Right.
Texas.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the thing is that it's not serving everyone. It's a segmented
Right.
population being served.
That's right.
So you have to be
Exactly.
wise enough to understand what the education system is doing, as well as asking those very important questions.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So when I came into education 8 years ago, that was something that I seen that it was so political based. So I made
Right.
sure as a teacher, I understood what was being asked of me from the state of North Carolina,
Right.
learned,
Mm-hmm.
and then I coached my parents as well as my staff,
Okay.
coached them
Right.
as to
Mm-hmm.
what to ask for. Um, your listening audience may have parents that are seeking educational plans. So IEP, this is, plans for children with disability, as well as 504s.
Right.
And if you don't know about those services, which
Mm-hmm.
in Washington, they're wanting to take that off the table.
Right.
So
Okay.
can you explain what those
So,
two different codes that you just spoke of? Like you said,
right.
504 and
Well,
something
these
else.
are these are educational plans. Children
Mm-hmm.
that have disabilities, you have
Special
several things that
abilities.
hmm
Mm-hmm.
you have several different things that they can have in their educational plan. For instance,
Mm-hmm.
just to give them extended time on testing
Right.
or
Right.
preferential seating in the classroom or
Mm-hmm.
um, small group settings instead
Right.
of a classroom of 30. They
Mm-hmm.
now can be in a classroom no more than 8, possibly
Right.
12 kids.
Right.
Right.
So those educational plans are very important for parents to understand
Hmm.
as well
Mm-hmm.
as know. The first thing that I will say is that you need to make sure that you have a solid connection with your school. You need
Mm-hmm.
to meet with those teachers. You need to meet with the principal. You need to meet with your guidance counselor. You
Right.
need to
Right.
meet with your instructional coaches. Learn who those people are in your school, and you make
Mm-hmm.
sure that you work for your child. They're working, but you as a parent need to be doing the same thing.
Hmm.
Not
Right.
only that, you need to make sure that you know who's on their school boards. So you want to make sure
Right.
that that is taken care of as well.
Exactly. Quick question for you: Is the system outdated? Does it really need work? Is the school system
Oh,
outdated?
absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. You got people that are coming in with their own agendas.
Right.
Right. Daughters of
So
Politicizing
Liberty.
it,
you're
which
not
means politicizing it, right?
The, as
yes,
in the Daughters
yes,
of Liberty.
somewhat, yeah.
Now, I found
Yeah.
something interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. What you said. You said 8 years ago. 8 years ago, a Democrat was in office. Am I correct?
Hmm. Correct.
Hmm. That's interesting.
And what you see today, you can tell the difference between the political parties.
Right.
Right. Because you had
And then
somebody that was actually
that
educated that was over that department
and
rather than someone who was just a loyalist.
Right.
when concern was to, it was all about the student. They made
Right.
Hmm.
sure that whatever the local government put in for
Hmm.
education, it was there.
Right.
What
Right.
you see now is strictly political based. Can
Hmm.
we as a community help build that back up?
Of
Yes.
course.
But you
Of
got to
Hmm.
course.
start with local government first.
Exactly.
Right. Right. Right.
Exactly. Let me ask you a question, right? Let's talk about one size fit all learning. To me, it doesn't fit everyone. Not one
It does
size,
not.
it does not.
No, it
It
never
does
had.
not.
Right.
Yes, you're right. It hasn't and it won't. But
Right.
I will say this, enough voices that complain and understand what it is that they need
Hmm.
will change. It may not
Exactly.
change tomorrow, but if you speak
Hmm.
about it more than what we're seeing now,
Right.
Right.
we can begin to change it.
So
Absolutely.
I have to ask you, Catherine, because I'm hearing what you're saying on the line and in between the lines. So are you
Mhm.
actually getting parents involved based upon what's been going on, or have they been attending PTA and school board meetings? Has are those numbers coming up, or are they being more involved and more hands-on with their kids' education?
I'm going to say this personally, when I realized that there was a problem and parents were unaware of what they could do for their child,
Hmm.
I was the
Hmm.
one that coached them. I was the
Okay.
one that said, okay, when you go into
Right.
your meeting for your IEP, your revow, this is what
Hmm.
you need to ask for. This
Right.
is what you
Right.
need to take away because
Right.
people will try to pigeonhole you and you don't want to
Hmm.
do that. It's all about, is my child growing and what
Right.
you have in place? Is
Right.
it still needed or do I need it longer? Does that make
Hmm.
sense?
It makes sense.
Yes, of
Ton of
course.
So,
sense.
and as an administrator, because I still have my teacher hat on as well,
Right.
I
Right.
coach my parents and I go
Hmm.
into my meetings, my IEP meetings, my 504 meetings, and I
Hmm.
coach the teachers.
Right.
Because if it's something there that the student needs, I'm going to make sure I know and I'm going to implement.
Right.
That's me. That's where I
Right. Right.
come. I come from the fact of every child may learn differently, but
Hmm.
every child can be successful.
Speaking
Right.
from a teacher side of things, right? Do you feel that
Hmm.
life skills are missing in a classroom?
Absolutely.
Okay.
When you say life
Absolutely.
skills, I need you to be specific in what you're saying, bro.
Life skills, like, like like back in our day, we would
Hmm.
have all these different special cooking classes. We would have all
Right.
these
Hmm.
woodshed classes, all these things,
Hmm.
hands-on electrical classes. All that stuff is
Right.
gone.
And
Hmm.
but you
Life
have to
skills.
Well,
ask. You have to ask why those things are gone.
well, the thing about that slash that goes back to money. Okay.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Um, those specialized things are for the students, like the students that have disabilities.
Right.
Hmm.
Once they come out of elementary and middle school and they're going into
Hmm.
high school, they don't necessarily get a graduation diploma. They get a certification and they focus more
Right.
so on life skills, just as you were saying, Trent.
Hmm.
So it's a smaller population that will have
Exactly.
that. So if you're talking about general education, they have things like, computers,
Right.
data entry. They have those
Hmm.
types of things that will help
Okay.
them in their latter
So I
years.
give you a couple examples on life skills, right? Financial literacy, emotional intelligence, communication, conflict resolution, all that type of stuff. I don't think they're
Hmm.
teaching these kids anything, to be
They
honest with
they
you.
do not.
And it
They do
shows.
not.
Yeah.
It's lumped into what they call CTE, which is a classroom that helps them with their data literacy
Right.
and
Hmm.
computer. So all of what we experienced when we were
Hmm.
coming along, like home ec
It's
and
gone.
typing,
Right.
automotive, they
Hmm.
don't have that, and that's because of the funding.
Right. And in my personal opinion, and this is just my personal opinion, I'll probably get in trouble for this, but hey, it is what it is. It's a systemic racism type situation going on with that.
Exactly.
I truly
Because
believe that.
if you
I truly believe and I stand on that.
right, because if you
Mhm.
took those classes and you came into it as an apprentice or further, as far as shop class or wood
Right.
carving and different things like that, plumbing and all those different skills you had to step up on those owners of those companies, kids and whatnot. So when you
Exactly.
came in, you weren't coming in on an entry level. You were coming in as maybe an intermediate, and they didn't like
Mhm.
that. So that's
Absolutely.
part of that system. And if you're gonna get in trouble, my brother, I'm gonna be right here behind your back, but we're gonna get into that John Lewis good trouble.
As always, as always, as always. That's good stuff. Real good stuff, man. So let me ask you something. Do you find as an ex teacher, because you're actually in administrative role now, as
Wait,
far as
wait, wait, wait.
being
Hold up,
vice
hold
president?
up, hold that thought. Just
Go
like
ahead.
when we said with you being a coach, you're always a coach. When you're a teacher, you're always a
You're
teacher.
always a teacher. Yes.
Okay, I stand corrected. I stand corrected. But do you find that the kids today are less engaging when it comes to the classroom and interacting with the teacher and getting the work really done?
Mhm.
They less engaging.
And that is something that every school system, every school faces.
Right.
Trying to figure out how can we engage these kids, and sometimes you have to get down on their level to where they can receive the information that they need, and you can do that.
Right.
So it's the teacher communicating with the student communicating with the teacher, and parent and teacher working together.
Right.
So
I
let me ask you a
recall. I
question.
recall.
Hold up, Trent. Let me ask you a
Uh,
question.
go
You
ahead.
know, in college, how they have teachers' assistants?
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe even some students that didn't decide to go maybe to a major college, they went to a junior college or something like that, that could assist teachers. And then back in the day, you had parents that are teacher sister.
Right.
Teachers. So
Yeah.
as far as there's this saying that said, give it to them where the ghost can get it,
Hmm.
rather than trying to go over
Mhm.
their head. So that type
Right.
of thing. But as far as engagement, you have to have teachers that can engage them. We can't
Right.
Right.
engage the kids. It's the opposite direction.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. I mean, there are ways that you can reach them. You just got to figure out
Right.
how to help.
Mhm.
And I'm just going to tell you, a lot of school systems, a lot of teachers, even with the time that the kids have in those classes, you got to be
Mhm.
smart. And that's what
Right.
I tell my teachers. You got to figure out what your students like, and try your best to make sure that whatever that thing is, that you are serving them.
Right.
Right.
Right. So let's talk about the quantity gap. Let's talk about the zip codes. And does it still determine educational quality?
Of course. So you mean to tell me what you slickly trying to
Kathy.
ask is
Kathy.
are the people on St. Charles Avenue gonna get better education than someone in the Seventh Ward or someone in
Y'all know
Westwego or someone in British
y'all
City
know
or
exactly where I'm
Westwego
going with
or
it.
or,
Y'all know.
or different parts of Atlanta or these different things?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna say this.
Uh-huh.
Those are called zones. Okay.
Hmm.
Those are school zones.
Mhm.
And sometimes when they redistrict
Uh-huh.
and they send students in all
Gent-
different
Yeah, 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 yeah,
variations,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know, um,
Gentrificate, would that be gentrification of education?
you see that.
Okay, okay. You know, I'm a
You know,
parent
there's is
also,
a
so I've seen some
is a
things, I've
certain
read some
way
things, I've heard some things now.
is a certain way my dear friend has to answer these things, because he's still in a administrative role. So so
Hmm.
yeah.
I'm just gonna say this. When that happens, then the reaction again is engagement, and
Exactly.
that comes on everybody's part:
Right.
the
Hmm.
parent, the student, the teachers, the
Exactly.
admin. So when that happens, as an administrator, I'm finding ways to make sure that those kids are taken care of.
Exactly.
I'm finding ways that the school-wide community is taken care of.
Exactly. And I'm gonna keep it a
Right.
buck as we always do here on Conversation Prime Time with Slash and I, right? Let's talk about that starting line. Everybody's not starting at that same line. Some
No,
of
Not
us
at
are
and
all.
that's why you
way
say,
behind.
right, as you say, meet the kids where they are.
Yeah,
Meet them
Right.
where they are.
Well.
You're right. Not
Hmm.
everyone is going to be sitting in a classroom that knows everything that you're talking about. So,
exactly.
Right.
as an educator, you're going to have to make sure you understand the student that's in your classroom. You
Exactly.
need to make sure that when you are assessing these kids, where are they?
Exactly.
And let's face it, sometimes we're trying to beat the clock. But even
Right.
still, you should have quality time spent in knowing what that child knows and what that child does not know.
Exactly.
And
It's actually
sometimes you will hear educators say, well, I'm off the clock at 3:30. I don't do anything after 3:30. Well, let me just say
Hmm.
this. When I was a teacher, I worked really around the clock. Now
right.
that I'm in administration, I work around the clock. So it doesn't
Hmm.
matter. I'm there for the parent and the
Mhm.
student as well as my staff.
And speaking on that, we'll get a little personal here for a real quick second. I remember maybe several years ago, you had a situation with the student, and you had to engage the parent and make the parent accountable for that child's actions and the behavior. And you challenged that. Do you remember that situation we talked about?
Mm-hmm.
And you
Mm-hmm.
challenged that parent.
Yeah.
I had never seen a teacher in this day go at a parent like that
Mm-hmm.
because you stood on
I
business
still
on
do
that
it.
situation. Yeah.
I still do it as an administrator
Right.
because it's important. If you're going to come to me and say my child um, didn't have the opportunity to get this particular assignment done,
Right.
and you put a deadline on it, I was
Right.
a teacher who had a 12 o'clock well 11:59 deadline.
Right.
This is in
Hmm.
seventh grade. So the parents are very upset with me because I had that deadline. Well, I'm all about, taking accountability for our
Hmm.
actions, making sure that we understand time management, you know? So those were the things in the classroom because seventh grade goes just like that. By the time that you're done, you're going to high school. So if you don't know how to manage your time, if you don't know how to take accountability for those things that you need to do, then where are you
Hmm.
going to get it? I mean,
Exactly.
I will tell you the 7 years that I was in that building, I was the most hated teacher
Right.
because I had those guidelines.
True.
Hmm.
I was. I had
Right.
Yeah.
parents saying, "I'm going to
Absolutely.
take you to
Yeah.
central office because you're making them do stuff that they're needing to do in high school." Well, guess what? They're going to get there, and when they get there, they're going to be prepared and they're going to understand what it is that they need to do instead of walking
Exactly.
Right.
around. And as an administrator, I still say that when I walk into those
Exactly.
classrooms and those kids are not doing what they're supposed to do, I tell them
Hmm.
this is what my expectation is. I tell the parent, this is my expectation. I need you to come on my side so we can work together for your child to be successful.
Exactly. And
Right.
parents, this is where we push our kids. Again, I'll
Mm-hmm.
say parents and community, this is where we push our kids. You see what
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing in the camera? This is where we push
Hmm.
our kids closer to the line, right? By taking
Mm-hmm.
responsibility and accountability when those kids act up, or when you're not doing your part, parent, or when you're not doing your part, community.
Right.
We push them closer to the line and give them a better
Yeah.
start by
Yeah.
advocating for them and nudging them a little closer as we take
Right.
responsibility and deal with the kids the proper way.
Right.
Right. Absolutely. And I just want to say this. I'm gonna put this out and I'm gonna leave it alone.
Okay.
Parents, I get it that your children are cheerleaders, football players, basketball, what have you. At the end of the day, if your child is not doing what they need to do in that classroom, then
Right.
you should not be going to teachers or the administrator saying, why did you sit my child out?
Right.
Why
Hmm.
did you sit my child down? Well,
Right.
academically, they're not performing where they need to be. So therefore, they're not going to sit there and play on a court in my jersey if they're not performing at their best in the
Right.
classroom.
Right.
Would that
So
be? Would that be called
Parents, you
Coach
gotta
Carter
understand.
when he locked those gym doors? Y'all don't hear me. I
I
mean,
was told
y'all.
that I'm Coach Carter. I'm the Miss Coach Carter.
But 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 Kathy, I could definitely tell that you have a certain care towards what you're doing, and not everyone has that care. Some people are there just to be entertained as far as kids. Some teachers are
Right.
there just for a check, and that reflects bad on schools because they're still grading as far as schools of how they prepare those kids, right?
Right.
Like each school is graded, how many kids pass and how many kids graduate and that type of thing, right? I think she
Kathy.
froze on that
And
particular
she
part.
broke.
Yeah,
And she
but
should
but
pull
that
back in a little bit. Go ahead.
yeah, but that's a part of it because you still get graded as far as schools, but then you graded upon how many accredited teachers you have and administrators and all these other different things.
Hmm.
So I don't know how some of these schools really pass those grades year after year,
Right. Right. Right.
and that's why certain educators like some of these big name educators that's on TV every day, like Dr. Michael Eric Dyson and these other guys. They're at these prestigious universities, but I think they're drawing more people being at these HBCUs.
Right.
Even what's my man Cornell West and all that. They should be
Yeah.
in these HBCUs teaching there because
It really should
you
be.
want to you bring in certain so many different people, and HBCUs aren't just BCUs nowadays. You got a lot of different ethnicities and backgrounds and nations of different
Right.
kids that go to those schools.
Right. 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 Let me ask you a question, Slash.
Do me a favor.
Go ahead.
Push that mic back about a half inch. You're a little hot today. Now. Your mic is
Wow.
like Sam Cooke on me today. Now.
You good? Everything good? Everything good?
Yes, sir.
Guys, guys. Good stuff. Good stuff. Let me ask you a question, right? What skills will matter most in the next 10 to 20 years? Let's just say 10 to 20 years. What
hmm
skills, in your opinion, is going to matter most?
The skills that mattered 30, 40, 50 years ago. You still gonna need somebody to fix your AC, fix your refrigerator, fix your oven, fix your
Mhm.
car, fix your house, uh, your concrete, landscaping, all of
Right.
those particular deals from back then. And that will be a career rather than a lot of things nowadays that's just a job.
Yeah. And so you're saying no matter where technology goes, you're still going to need those things?
Every kid is not going to be some kid that owns a Fortune 500 company. They're
Right.
not going to be someone who is going to give you the next something that's skilled.
Right.
They're going to build the next, I don't know, super TV or something. It's not going to be strictly technology, and that's like the thing of sports. Only 1% of children that play high school basketball, football,
You make it to the
baseball,
league.
tennis, swimming, to 1%, less than 1%. So we
Exactly.
can't keep thinking that Lil Man, Tay Tay, and Lil Raheem is going to be an NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball
Exactly.
star.
It's a small percentage that gets in. Yeah, you're totally right. You're totally
And
right.
my thing is this. Let me ask you, because we know a lot of different people with different backgrounds.
Uh,
Where are those educators? Where are those lawyers? Where's those chefs? Where's those people who do landscaping or AC and whatnot? When have
I
you
think
seen them get together and actually give back to the neighborhood as far as interning, as far as teaching kids, what they do, and maybe they'd be interested in that in our recreation departments and whatnot. That's what I have to ask.
you asking where they are.
Where are they?
I'm going to say something that's not so popular.
Uh-oh.
Um, as far as the kids today,
hmm
I got to be honest with you. Gen X has failed them, me included.
Well, I don't want to go. I don't want to be in the absolutist, as they say. But at the same time, let me say what's up to Al Sal, man. Let me say what's up to Wendy. Good evening to y'all that I'm seeing
What's
your
going on
name on the
now? What's
screen.
up, Wendy Win?
Well, the thing, I don't think we failed them, but it's the same thing when we had that conversation about relationships.
Right,
Did
right.
those people seek those people that did the same thing? And that's where you miss this in church now. You miss this
Yeah,
in
but
certain organizations.
Slash. Let's keep it a buck now. So hold on one second. She's unable to get back in. Let me text her real quick.
Okay. There's a lot of Gen Xers out there, man. I know there's a lot of people, even like I could think back to like Rock and Diamond, man, how he helped us, but we
Yeah,
sought
true.
him out. So you
Yeah,
have
but
to seek out,
that was another day and time though.
yeah, but still we had to seek him out.
But true. Well, you know
There are
what?
a
You're right.
lot of people you come
You're
in
absolutely right.
contact
You're
with.
right
You
about that.
have, remember, we had the newspaper. You have newspapers say, hey, we need such and such and such. We're going to be doing this school play, or we're going to be doing this church play, or something. That information was
Right.
in the newspaper. We need people to audition. We need
Yeah.
interns to come help such and such and such.
Right. But back then we were a different breed because when we got the Rock and Diamond, we was already going with cassettes. We was going we was looking for another studio to do some more work.
hmm
So I mean we got in the woodshed. So
So, so let me,
honestly,
yeah, but let me put. I'm not going to ever play the advocate of somebody who people think is as strong as God. So I'm not going to do that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you some pushback. So you
go
mean to
ahead,
tell me, when as a younger guy, kid, whatever, and the AC man comes, you got a little
Mhm.
flavor with him, and like, hey, I'm gonna be, over here trying to
Right.
help your mom or whatever. That's a conversation right there. Well, how did you get started?
I get it.
Do you need a helper? Can, I'm gonna be out for the summer. Can I come work with you for the summer? It's still a conversation. As kids, we still have to be able to have that conversation
I,
with adults,
I agree, but my whole point is we still went to Rock and Diamond with some type of knowledge. Let's
right?
keep it.
But
Did we not?
they had some
Yeah,
people who didn't.
you was programming the drum machine, the 808 before you went to Diamond. Am I
Yeah,
wrong?
at home. I was fortunate, but not everybody is fortunate. So now I want you. What I'm saying is, the guy who's coming in fixing the refrigerator, or the guy
Yeah.
who's coming in fixing the whatever,
Hmm.
to ask them, hey, I'm kind of interested in what you're doing, man. That's saving my mom some money, yada yada yada.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's a young woman, and she's like, well, y'all need help with the bills, or the uptake,
I
or
get your
or the
point.
secretary or something. You still have to have this conversation of, remember when
I get
people
your
would
point.
ask us, so what you do?
I get your point. I get your
That
point. I get your point. Ladies and gentlemen,
that's
Slash and I here on Conversation Prime Time, we give each other pushback. There's no bells and whistles here on this
no
platform.
freebies.
No freebies at all. I don't care who it is. And I've been knowing this dude 40 years. If I disagree with him, we'll disagree and we'll keep it moving. So he's pushing
Right.
back, and yeah, that's called adult talk. It's called adult talk. So good stuff, good stuff. But I get your point, Slash. I totally get your point. But I still say that Gen X's are responsible for this younger generation
We have
don't have
responsibility.
emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
They lack emotional intelligence. They lack a ton of things, man, dealing with their feelings. We're responsible for that. I truly
let me
believe that.
let me
What's
take
your
it back
thoughts
to
on that,
church.
Kathy? Go ahead, go ahead.
Yes. Children model what they see. So, you know, if they're coming in fussing, cussing, and wanting to fight, they model what they see,
Right.
you know?
Mimic.
So,
Yeah.
Slash wanted to take us to church for a second. Go ahead, Slash.
So you got to remember, because I was a junior usher. A lot of people might don't know that, man. I've been in the kind of public service, so to speak. But
Yeah,
when a
yeah, yeah.
Trent Williams came to church that he was visiting, or when a Miss Kathy came to church, she would say, she wanted to give reverence to the reverend, and to the bishop and the choir and the deacons, yada yada yada. I'm such and such and such, and I
Uh-huh.
work at. I'm such and such and such, and I work at. And
Right.
people looking around say, "Oh, all right, that's an educator." That guy there's a songwriter. He might have wrote a song for one of these big pop groups back in the day or something.
Right,
They
right,
see you
right.
coming out of that church, say, "Hey, okay, I heard what you saying, brother, or whatever. My son is interested in." Boom, boom, bam.
Hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
now some of those passes have been cut off because we don't attend church like that, or
Yeah.
whether it's
We
the
do a
bake
lot of
sales
gatekeeping.
or it's
We,
the
we do a lot of gatekeeping.
Mm-hmm.
but it's not really gatekeeping. It's just when you get that opportunity, you can't always think I'm gonna get that opportunity the second, the third, or fourth time. That
Right.
first time is where you step up and present yourself, like your
Mm-hmm.
grandparents taught you, like your parents
Right.
taught you, like your uncles, aunts, cousins. They taught you if something's on your mind, express that.
So let me ask
I
you something.
like
So
what you're saying.
where do that responsibility lie? Which doorstep, on the Gen X or the younger generation?
I had a conversation with one of my good friends, man, and we was talking about someone that got fired or someone that needed medical assistance. And he asked
Mhm.
me, he said, so who's gonna help that guy, man? Who's gonna come with some financial backing or whatnot? And I said, you
Right.
know what? There is no so-called black community, but
Hmm.
the onus on that is us. It starts with us. We
Right.
can't look for other people or assume that other people are going to come to the rescue. It starts with us. We're
I
talking
get
about
it.
it tonight. The next time we're in proximity of some of these people, it's the same thing. There
Right.
was a
Mm-hmm.
young guy that wanted to DJ, man,
Hmm.
and and this is it's a crazy, it's a weird story. So I said, you know what? I've helped a few guys because guys have helped me. So I'm gonna buy this guy a controller, a DJ controller. So I told
Uh,
his mom, I say, tell him to call me. And he got around to calling me. I said, well, okay, well,
right.
what you working with? What's the process? How you doing? Boom, boom, bam.
Right.
And he came off a little arrogant, and he was like, well, yeah, thinking about this or that. And I
Hmm.
was like, you kind of missed the opportunity by being arrogant. So sometimes you shoot yourself in the foot. Sometimes
Right.
you
Right.
miss your blessings, as they say. It's one thing to be blessed, but it's another thing to be a blessing to others. You have too many people running around talking about I'm blessed and I'm highly favored. What
Right.
does that
Right.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else is blessed. Nobody else is favored. That's
Right.
that ego, man. That's what I'm saying. So it's on us. We didn't miss that particular opportunity because, like I said, I knew everybody in my neighborhood all the way down
Right.
the street. I knew every gentleman where he worked. So there was never a time I couldn't have been, let me be an intern or something for you.
Mm-hmm.
Let me
And
let
that is called networking. That's networking.
Yes.
exactly. Give
Yes.
me 1 second. Let me address the folks on the other platform that's coming in
Okay.
from the Terra side. Hey, what's up? Hey,
Got you.
Tamika, I see you. Appreciate you for tuning in. She says, "Hey, Mark." She says, "Hey."
What's going on,
And
Tamika?
Joe, no, we're not talking about sports. We're talking about educational, the
That's
educational
part of
system.
that's
Go ahead.
part of education.
Well, it
Sports.
is. It definitely is.
It's
It definitely is.
recreation.
But
No
we're actually
doubt.
focusing on educational, the educational system tonight, Joe. Appreciate you
Mhm.
tuning in, though, brother. Go ahead.
Let me say good evening to Midnight Afternoon Diva also. Thank you for the lights.
Oh, that's the midnight diva right there.
I seen it. That's why I put it together. But
Exactly,
yeah,
exactly.
look, I'm saying we haven't failed the young people or whatnot. I'm not gonna go that far. But the
Right.
thing is, like I said, you have to speak
There's
up
still
when
hope, though.
spoken to.
There's definitely still hope.
Yeah. I
There's
mean,
definitely
Yeah.
still hope.
in the education system, we can say all day that there's somebody that that is doing all of this.
Right.
I don't
Mhm.
like pointing the fingers at anyone because
Hmm.
I am a solution person. If something is missing, I'm going to
Mhm.
figure out how to get it, and then I'm going to coach others so they'll be
Right.
able to tell more. Like when we get
Exactly.
Right.
brand new teachers just graduated from college, have no sense of a classroom.
Right.
I
Mhm.
take those teachers and I coach them. So when they are in their classroom, they're comfortable.
Right.
Right.
I coach them on understanding that student
Mhm.
and understanding how they learn. And not only that, you're forging a relationship with that child, but you need to forge the relationship with that
The
parent.
parents
And that
also.
parent
Right.
have a relationship with the school as well as the teacher.
Speaking of
And
teachers,
as, go ahead, I'm sorry.
speaking of teachers, do you think,
Hmm.
in your professional opinion, Kathy, do you think the teachers are burned out?
Absolutely.
Right. We already
Because there
know
are a
we
lot
know
of,
the pay is part of the problem as well, but I think the burnout is very high.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, because there is new demands when it comes to learning.
And what is that?
Mm-hmm.
Can
And
you share some of that with us?
well, I mean, just the curriculum. Some
Right.
curriculums are different than
Mm-hmm.
um, what they used to be. So there's curriculum change, and then there's the time, the amount of
Okay.
time that the student is in the classroom. So you
I'm
got
gonna
to be
have to ask you
smart
to
about
explain that
how
now.
you're
Wait,
going
wait,
to
Kathy. I'm gonna have to
go.
ask you to explain maybe some changes that came from maybe year to year or every 5 years, every 10 years. Can you give us an idea or sample of those changes?
I mean, it just depends. I mean, year to year, you're going to see something different.
Mm-hmm.
But I always say, whatever it is that you are learning, you
Right.
build upon. So whatever is new, you just take the information that you had before and just apply it
Mm-hmm.
together. So, for instance, where I am, we have a new curriculum for math, and it's not the same as the other schools in the district.
Right.
So
Okay.
our testing is different. The way that we teach math is different. So we
Mm-hmm.
have to embrace it. This particular program has been at this school for close to a year now.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's different. So the teachers are learning right along with the students.
Okay. Right. So let me ask you, when you first became an educator, how long did it take for you to get your sea legs, so to speak, besides being, maybe overwhelmed with the work, with the caseload, with the amount of kids in a particular school year or whatever? How long before you got comfortable and you were like, okay, I'm ready?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I come from a journalism background, so I have my
Mm-hmm.
certification in English language arts. So it's very easy for me
Okay.
to
Okay.
come from that profession into
Mm-hmm.
education. But
Okay.
I have the mindset of always remaining a student.
Right.
I
All
can
right.
learn something new every single day. So
Right.
I
Supposed
made
to.
sure
Yes, ma'am.
that when they had professional developments, I was a part of it because I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to make sure that I was doing the best that I could and can for my students.
Exactly.
Right. And we've been wanting to get you on because we had so many questions. So let's say your first school that you were teaching. How
Hmm.
often is it that teachers turn over and get recruited to other schools, more financially stable schools, more charter school, more magnet schools? Or I don't know if you teach at a public school or whatever, but what's the turnover between teachers in a year or years, school year to school year?
Right. My former school, um, the last year that I was there, we had a total of, I want to say maybe 65 on staff.
Hmm.
Out of the 65 on staff, there were a total of 15 brand new teachers.
Okay.
Going into the next school year, we
Right.
only
Hmm.
had 3 of the 15.
Goodness.
Right. Here's another question.
So,
Here's another
Wow.
question. Very controversial question. You
mm-hmm,
know what AI, right, and automation is
mm-hmm,
changing careers faster than we could say. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Information. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
information.
Exactly. Constantly. How you guys are combating that? Like, how you actually working with that? With the information continuously
You see,
changing so
you
fast.
see that smile. You see that smile on her face.
Why are you smiling, Kathy? Why are you
Okay,
smiling?
we have kids though, Trey. We
We have
know when
students
that information comes from
they
elsewhere.
understand,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
understand AI or trying to learn AI, but they're using it the wrong way.
Right,
And
right,
our teachers are too.
right. Exactly. That's what I wanted to get to. So the teachers are actually using it wrong as well, right?
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
So how are they
So how you guys
using it
combat
wrong?
that?
Yeah, I'm
They work.
interested. Yeah.
Uh,
With it being so new,
Hmm.
we're working it through. Right now, it's all about plagiarism. And so
Right.
when it comes across my desk,
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna catch it.
Exactly.
I'm gonna catch it. I'm gonna run every single plagiarism platform that I can to find out if it was their own wording.
Okay.
Now, Trent, I got to ask you a question, my brother. We're gonna take it
Uh-oh.
back to
Go
high
ahead.
school, and
Go
we're
ahead.
gonna have Miss Kathy as our teacher.
Okay.
Where would you be sitting in that classroom? Would you be in the front, the middle, or the back? Where would you be?
I'll be somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
I'll be somewhere in the middle.
So what would you say, Miss Kathy? Where would Trent be sitting? Where would I be sitting? I know, we've only known each other, on with the internet streets. But where do you think we'd be sitting?
Trent is in the back. I don't know why he gonna let y'all know he in the middle. He in the back playing around,
Mm-hmm.
Not Kathy.
missing
Come on now.
everything. He's the student
Mm-hmm.
that wants to sit in the back, but
Right.
then want to come to me and ask me all the questions when he should have been sitting up front.
Okay. All
She
right.
got me. She got me. She got me.
Okay.
She know me. She know me well. She know me well.
Now, how long would it be before you moved him from out the back to the front of the class to do what he's supposed to be doing?
He'll be at the front the next day.
Okay. That's the vibe that I'm getting because it reminds me. Remember Panucci we went to school with? Last
Yeah.
Thomas McClinton. His
Yeah.
mom was my third grade. She was my third grade teacher.
Uh,
So she pulled me from in the back of the class with Michael Smith
right.
now.
Yeah.
She
To the
said,
front.
Mark Marine, come on up here in the front of this class. You ain't gonna be sitting back there with them knuckleheads.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
And
Uh-oh.
that reminds me of the type of teacher I could see Miss Kathy is.
Yeah.
I
She's
see the
she's very
potential in him.
engaging, man. She's very engaging.
Yeah. But
She
you have
take
to
her work
be.
very, very, very serious. So yeah.
You have very personable people in every working class or whatever. You have people who
Exactly.
just have it. And those are the people that you want and that can engage students and whatnot based upon what they do or where they came from.
Right.
And
Right.
you
Right.
would remember we wanted to be whatever the most popular teacher was or gym coach or whatever. I remember when I was in
Mhm.
junior high, it's like, yeah, I want to be a gym coach when I graduate and whatnot. That was kind of a thought, the cool teacher.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's good. That's good. That's good. So like we're gonna close off on the studio side here, but we're gonna continue to speak on TikTok. Yeah, we're
Okay.
gonna close it off because we're at an hour over here. I see you guys, and I appreciate you guys for tuning in. The conversation in prime time with Slash and I. We're gonna continue this conversation over on TikTok. But until next week, this actually episode will be available next week sometime. We'll drop it on Monday on Apple Podcasts and a variety of platforms. So good stuff. We
Yes,
truly
sir.
appreciate you guys. I'm gonna close that out. Any closing remarks, Slash, before we get out of here?
Just want to thank everybody for tuning in, man, getting back in the vibe, tuning into us. We're going to be doing it long and strong in 2026 with Mr. Epic and myself. Thank y'all for tuning in tonight, and we'll definitely be rebroadcasting this real soon.
Absolutely. You guys be epic.
Thank you.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, beautiful people? Welcome to a special conversation. That's right, with Prime Talk, conversations in prime time with none other than DJ Slash.